Very good morning, dear Toastmasters and guests. This is Muthu. I'm the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the 605th meeting of Madras Toastmasters Club. For the benefit of the guest, Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization founded by Lord C. Smedley in the year 1924. The mission of Toastmasters International is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. For any Toastmasters International, there are 4 core values. They are integrity, dedication to excellence, service to the member, and respect for the individuals. Now, I request all the speakers to refrain from talking on taboo topics like politics, sex, religion, etc. Since it is a virtual meeting, I request all the speakers to be on mute when you are not speaking so that we don't disturb the flow of the meeting. I also request everyone to rename their names in the following format. If you are a member, rename as TM-your name. If you are a role player, your role name -your name. And if you are a guest, rename as guest-your name. Now I will share 2 forms in the chat window, one for the members to mark their attendance, another for the guest to share their contact details so that our VP membership can contact the guests at the end of the meeting to clarify their doubts. With this, I hand over the session to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Kavita. Enjoy the meeting and have fun. Over to you, Toastmaster Kavita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muthu. Good morning, Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to declare the 605th meeting of Madras Toastmasters Club open. For the benefit of guests, Toastmasters is a platform where we focus on the leadership and the communication paths, where we develop our communication and leadership in both professional and personal life. So coming to the guest introduction, we'll quickly move on to the guest introduction. Do we have any guests today? Guest Srinivasan?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the guest for today's session. My name is Srinivasan KC. I'm pursuing my BCom 3rd year in Vivekananda College. And also, I'm a student of Institute of Company Secretaries of India, which conducts Associated Company Secretary course, which is a professional course similar to the Chartered Accountants. It is a sister body of the CA Institute. And I'm supposed to be the guest of the day. That's all.
Welcome to Madras Toastmasters Club as a guest. Hope you have a great time today. And how did you get to know about our club?
Actually, I got a reference from one of the past members. I'm sorry, I'm unable to switch on my video because I'm using my cell phone. That's why please forgive. Yeah, the request has come now. Yeah, I got I got the reference from one of our past members, Mr. Manigandan, and also one of my another reference is Madhupriya ma'am. I think she's also Priya Narayanan ma'am. She's also she also referred me to this club. Through their support, I'm willing to join in this club, and I'm looking forward to take on a membership in the upcoming days to come.
Okay, that is very good to know, and you seem to be knowing a lot of people from our club.
No, really? No. Only those 2 members I know. They were my reference to participate in these sessions as a guest, and in the upcoming future, in the nearest possible days, I would like to take on the membership. Actually, I'm planning to take on the membership. I think this is my 2nd session to participate as a guest.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that is very good to know. Welcome, and if you're interested in table topics, do give your name to the table topic master.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. Do we have any more guests for today? I think that's it. Okay, so let's move on to the next, that is MOM of last week's meeting. So can we have a secretary, Toastmaster Muthu, to read the MOM of the previous meeting? Toastmaster Muthu is available?
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am.
Sure.
I hope I'm audible and visible.
You're audible, but your video is still loading, but that's okay. You can go ahead.
I'm reading the 604th MTC meeting, minutes of the meeting. It was an online meeting. It was held on January 30, 2022. The meeting, and there were two preferred speeches were presented and 70 table topic speeches were presented. And the Toastmaster of the day was Toastmaster PJ Karthik, and table topics master was Toastmaster Saravanan. General evaluator was Toastmaster Dinesh. Grammarian was Toastmaster Anirudh, and the all-counter role played by Toastmaster Anand. Timer role played by Toastmaster Deepak. I'm reading out the best awards presented. Toastmaster Srivasan was the best speaker. Toastmaster DTM Pat Sir was the best table topic speaker, and guest Monica was the guest table topic speaker for guest. And Toastmaster Arun Kumar was the best evaluator, and Toastmaster PJ Karthik was the best role player for playing the team mode role, and best supporting role player was the Toastmaster Anirudh for playing the grammarian role. And we have one first-time role player, Toastmaster Saravanan, who played the table topics role. Yeah, that's it, ma'am. Over to you. Yeah,
okay,
back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muthu. Let's move on to the next segment, that is the actual meeting. So for presiding this meeting, we have Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand. Toastmaster Anand works at Cipla. His interests are towards coaching and guiding the society in health and wellness and creating an awareness on diseases and its management. His hobbies are reading, cycling, and traveling. Over to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, our President, for your warm introduction. Okay. Today, I'm the Toastmaster of the day. Okay. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all for this Madras Toastmasters Club's meeting. For the benefit of the guest, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The first part of the meeting is that prepared speech. The member will deliver their speech based upon the pathway and their project. The second part is that our educational session by our president. The third part is that is an impromptu speech. That is the most important part of the more core essence in this Toastmasters. That is a table topic session. The most interesting thing is that even the guest also participate and improve his communication skills. Then the fourth session is that the evaluation session. The general evaluator and its team will give the constructive feedback for the prepared speakers. Right? So this is about the entire structure of the meeting. Before going further, let me introduce the theme of the day. The theme of the day is habit. See, we are all humans. We are all gifted. The God has gifted with the most mysterious, miraculous, and a selfish organ called as the brain. Okay. Whereas if you see that other species, they have only the emotional brain. As a human, right? As a Homo sapiens, we have that intellectual brain called as cerebral cortex. Okay. That is a human brain. We can rationalize our thinking. We can think more emotionally. We can think, we can judge, we can solve many problems, all because of our central nervous system, because of the brain. See, if you see that brain, the brain contains the millions of neurons. The scientist has estimated that it contains 50 billion neurons. But the sad part is that as a normal human, he is utilizing only the 5 to 10% of the neurons, whereas the scientists, they utilized for almost 20%. So we are utilizing only 10%. What is stored in that neuron? What is that? All our behavior, all our habits, the personality traits, everything is stored in our neuron. That's why it is called as a central nervous system. That behavior, that habits, that is driving force of our life, right? But we have the ability to change our behavior. We have the ability to change our habits. Before going to that, right, let me understand what is an habit. Habit is the chain collection of information. For example, in my formative years, I learned to be more proactive. That trait get incorporated in my personality. Once I joined in my organization, I often exhibit or display my proactive behavior. All right. Similarly, I am more courageous. Right. I display the same personality traits wherever I interact, wherever I go, wherever I give speech. Right. On the contrary, if you see that, if I display some maladaptive behavior, right, or indiscipline, right, if I learn, I will inculcate or I display such behavior along with others, right, because it's stored into our unconscious memories. The behaviors and habits are stored in our unconscious memory that get completely crystallized in the brain. That became the driving force of life. Okay. So in this Toastmaster forum, we are going to discuss about various habits, how to make an habit, how to break a habit, everything we are going to discuss. Before going to that, let me introduce the word of the day. Today, the word of the day is proactive, right? What is a proactiveness? Controlling a situation by making things happen or by preparing possible future outcome. So let me give an example. India is taking a proactive measures by driving the vaccination camp to protect against the COVID infection. Right. So I request the speakers, please use the theme of the day and word of the day during your speeches. Okay. Before moving further, let me introduce our general evaluator for today's meeting. Today, the general evaluator is DTM Trinadha Rao. He did his doctoral studies from the Indian Institute of Technology in System Engineering and Management. He is a chartered member and past president of the MTC Club. His hobbies are reading and long drive to historical temples in India and focusing imbibe Santana Dharma scripture. Over to you, general evaluator of the day. Over to you, sir. Now the virtual dais is yours. You can take over.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand. I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Happy morning, MTC. So I'm seeing after a long time because I think I was in travel last month. I'm not able to attend the meetings. This is the first meeting in 2022 for Madras Toastmaster Club. And also I got an opportunity to play the role, GE. So thanks for Kavita and Toastmaster Vasini. So GE General Evaluator is one of the important leadership role while conducting the meetings in the Madras Toastmaster Club. Or in general, any Toastmaster Club. So as a leadership role GE, I have two important responsibilities. One is I'm a keen observer right from the beginning of the meeting and end of the meeting. And also sometimes I may take the observations before the meeting, after the meeting also. So those things I can share to the ExCom people so that I think they can, if they need anything improvements, they can able to implement. That is one of the responsibilities. That is observation, key observation. Second thing, I have to conduct the meeting using my team. So I have to conduct the meeting in a quality way, and also I have to introduce evaluators to conduct the evaluation. So I think most of you know what is the evaluation. So just because of the benefit of the guests I'm telling, I think we have one or a couple of guests we have. So feedback is very essential for the improvement of any human being. And right from the beginning, the moment we born until we are leaving this materialistic world, we are evaluating day by day. So when you are going to school, I think they'll give a progress report. And when you are working, your supervisors will give appraisal that will turn into your bonus or maybe salary hike. Or if you are at a home and your spouse may give some feedback about your cooking or whatever maybe. So you can't escape from the feedback. So similar concept actually is there in meeting also, because as an external observer, I have to give my observations so that XCOM will implement all recommendations. So they will improve the meetings week on week. So that is the objective. To do these two important responsibilities, I have a team, what we called as a tag team. So those are helping me to facilitate the meeting in a quality way. Tag means T means timer, A means accounter, and G is grammarian. And one of the interesting things today, if we see, I think Toastmaster Suhasini bought very good team for the tag. We have a legal professional, and also we have techno professional, and we have a singer and trainer. So this is a very good combination, I can say. So today, timer role is going to handle by our Toastmaster. Is the budding Toastmaster of Madras Toastmaster Club. He is a Toastmaster Balachandran. So he is actually Bala is a law student and his hobbies are playing basketball and reading novels. Balachandran, over to you. Please explain your roles and responsibilities as a timer.
Good morning, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And my role as a timer is to note down the time taken by all the speakers, and the time taken, the time limit for speakers are. Let me 1 second show me the PPT. Is the screen visible?
Yes, yes.
So first is the icebreaker speech, and the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. And I will show green at 4 minutes, and amber at 5 minutes, and red at 6 minutes with 30 seconds grace time. And for the prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, and I will show green at 5 minutes, and amber at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes with 30 seconds grace time. For table topic, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. I will show green at 1 minute, amber at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes with 30 seconds grace time. And for evaluation time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. I will show green at 2 minutes, amber at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes with 30 seconds grace time. And for educational session, the time limit is 20 minutes. I will show green at 15 minutes, and amber at 17 minutes, and red at 20 minutes. So for the speakers using PPT, I will ping the color of the time card in chat window at the respective time intervals. And at the end of the meeting, I will submit my report to General Evaluator. All the best to the speakers. Over and to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Bala. I think you have given fantastic guidelines on the timers using PPT. Now we are moving to the accounter, so which is a very important role. Accounter role is going to play by Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh, I think is coming from Dubai. I think Dinesh, you are in Dubai or you are in India?
No, sir, I'm in Saudi.
You are in Saudi. Okay, good. So if you see, Toastmaster Dinesh is very young professional, but in a Toastmaster is a seasoned Toastmasters. So he's a Gavel Toastmaster and also is a Madras Toastmaster. I think more than 3 years. I think if I'm correct. So Toastmaster Dinesh is a PG diploma student, and now he's studying data science and business analytics. And his hobbies are football, watching movies, learning advanced technologies. Toastmaster Dinesh, please explain your roles and responsibilities as an accountant.
Respected Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good morning. As an accountant, my purpose is to note down the words and sounds that are used as pause fillers or crutches. And during the meeting, I'll also listen for repeated words such as include, and, or, well, so. And I'll also note down the filler sounds like and and I'll provide my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to the G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Now I move on to my one more team member of my team. That is a very important role. It's a grammarian role. Grammarian role is going to play by our Toastmaster Soumya. She is one of our seasoned Toastmasters in the Madras Toastmaster Club, and she is currently playing Vice President Public Relationship also. And she is, as a profession, she is an emotional self-awareness trainer, peace enhancer, and a great singer, because I happen to hear a legendary singing in our events. And she is having 7 years of training experience. And very interestingly, she is telling that she lived by quote, know thyself. It's very, very important. You know? See, know thyself is not easy. So over to Toastmaster Soumya, please explain your roles and responsibilities.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to be playing one of my favorite roles, that is grammarian. So it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. So I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, or sayings or thoughts. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you so much. Over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Soumya. So this is with the introduction of my key team for conducting the meeting in a quality way. And also, as Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand explained, we have 2 prepared speakers and 1 education session. For 2 prepared speakers, we have 2 evaluators. So when they're coming for the evaluation, I'm going to introduce those 2 evaluators. Till that time, I'm going to watch entire meeting and I will submit my report to the Toastmaster of the day. So what to Toastmaster of the day?
Thank you, General Evaluator, the Toastmaster Rao. Okay. So we are discussing, the theme of the day is habit. Right? We are discussing the most interesting fact about habit. How to make a habit, how to break an habit. Okay. Already, see, whatever the habit we are acquired in a formative years, that get completely conditioned in our subconscious brain. That became a driving force of my life. How to break that habit if it is an inappropriate behavior? How I am going to inculcate or ingrain some of the appropriate behavior to my personality? So there is one research as done by the European Journal of Social Psychology. What they say is that if you do anything for 66 days continuously, that became the part of your habit. For example, I am obese. I want to do exercise. I do continuously for 66 days. That became the part of my personality. I can regularize that habit continuously. And on the contrary, if you see that I have the problem, I have displaying anger with my family members, my amygdala is hijacking my cerebral cortex. This is that also an inappropriate behavior. How to change that habit? By practicing mindfulness, meditation, right? Or any other, some good behavioral habits. So if you do continuously for 66 days, we can change that we can break that behavioral pattern. See, normally when it was a physical program. That means 2 years ago, always I go to office and come to home. While coming to home, I have one bad habit of taking junk food at 6:30 at shop. Then I gained complete obese. I became a morbid obese. Then I thought, everybody is asking me, are you consuming alcohol? Are you doing something bad? I feel little bit disheartened. This is my own case study. Then while coming to my home, 4 or 5 days, completely I stopped. On the seventh day, there is a lot of craving, triggering to go to the hotel. In spite of that, with my determination, with my passion and commitment, I avoided that activity. Then 66 days I continued. Then I reduced my weight. In a nutshell, what I want to tell is that whatever, right, the success, I'm success in business because of my habit. I'm failure in my business because of my habit. I have drastically reduced my weight. Now I am remaining fit as fiddle because of my habit. I have gained the weight substantially. This is because of my habit. The habit is ruling us, right? That is the driving force of life. Most interesting fact in forthcoming, we will discuss more. Okay, so before moving further, we will go to the first session, that is prepared speech session. Right? The prepared speech session is done by Toastmaster Indumati. She has done post-graduation MBA and work at Indian Bank as a manager. She has a good habit of practicing yoga in daily basis, and she plays indoor game such as chess, and she has got a lot of other habits like listening music, right, walking on the beach, and watching movies. Right? To introduce her, I request is Evaluator, okay, to give a brief introduction about her speech about his project and pathway. Over to you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Anand. Today, Toastmaster Indumati will be giving her icebreaker speech from the Pathways Presentation Mastery. The topic of her speech is My Journey and Discovery. The purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce herself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. All the best, Toastmaster Indumati. Over to you, TM Modi, Anand.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vivek. Toastmaster Indumati, My Journey and Discovery. My Journey and Discovery, Toastmaster Indumati. Over to you, Toastmaster Indumati.
Thank you. Timer, please wait. Let me share my PPT. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Timer, now you can start time. Travel
Yes,
for
you
enough.
can start.
Travel for enough. You'll Meet Yourself by David Mitchell. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I love traveling. I often travel towards my inner world to explore myself. Let me share with you what I found during this journey. I was born and brought up in a small village and moved to towns for my higher education and career, and landed in this metro city due to my current job. My journey from village to metro city is amazing, with beautiful memories, wonderful people, great lessons, and bundles of challenges. My journey has been meaningful because of people I met. There is no me without them. Who are they? My family, my teachers, my friends. The last one. Keep guessing. I'll tell you later. About my family. I was brought up in a big family. This is my family tree. They taught me the values of life, such as honesty, hard work, adaptability, and time management. My grandmother is the root of my family, though she is no more. Her values still drive my family. My entire family contributed a lot in bringing up a better person in me. I was named Indumati because of my father's love for his sister Indra. I'm so happy that I was born into such a lovely family. Everything was so great, except one thing, fighting over TV remote. I never won this battle. Next, about my teachers. I owe gratitude to all my teachers. They helped increase my confidence level and made me realize my strengths. They believed in me more than I did. I would like to share with you one of the incidents which changed my life. While I was a second year BSc student, during one of our classes, we were all getting scolded by my professor for not complying. It was a kind of scolding plus advice session. We were all listening and admiring her communication skills. Our expressions were like, wow, look at her fluency. How come? Suddenly, the content of the speech hit me deeply and shook my thoughts. At that moment, I realized I was not courageous to convey what I wanted or to take any decisions. Since then, I boldly started sharing my desires with my family. Initially, they were doubtful about my confidence level, but I convinced them that I would make it happen, and I succeeded. About my friends, I have a lot of good friends. We have beautiful memories of birthday celebrations, travel, surprises, and silly fights. We not only had fun, we also been there for each other during thick and thin. Let me share with you one incident. I took a break after my graduation. I got a job in a private company. My friend Sasi, who kept on pushing me to pursue my post graduation. That's how I enrolled for MBA. It was a major turning point in my life. Last one. Any guess? Okay. Let me tell you. I had a bad experience in one of my interviews. It made me feel very low and hopeless about my future. I couldn't speak to anyone for 3 days. It was that time I heard my inner voice saying, come out. This is not the end. Believe in yourself. You can change your destiny. Those words brought confidence in me that changed my life. The person you have been keep guessing all along is me. Yes, what I discovered during this journey is myself. I have started to discover more about my strengths and weaknesses. And I've been working on bringing out the best in me. That's how I joined Toastmasters. My message is take care of yourself, it will take care of you. Travel far enough and deep enough to find yourself. My journey and discovery continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Indumati. It was a fabulous speech. I was completely spellbound. You are calm and composed during your icebreaker speech. what I observed is that one of your best practice, your habit is that yoga. By doing yoga, it increases the alpha level of activity in the prefrontal cortex. That's why you feel more serenity and calm and composed. Let me inculcate such habit in my personality. Fantastic. A lot of learning from your presentation. Thanks. Yeah. Let me move on to the next speaker. Let me introduce the second speaker, Toastmaster Karthik PJ. He is working as a process improvement lead in Caterpillar. He is a curious person. He has the habit of learning new things, and he is very proactive to take care of his physical and mental health. To evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Priya Narayanan. Right. I request you, please read out his speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Priya Narayanan. Now the podium is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I hope I'm audible. Toastmaster Karthik PJ is delivering his speech from the path Visionary Communication, Level 2, Project 1, which is the introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. The project is titled Reminiscence of My Roots. I will just give a brief on the project objective. The purpose of this project is for the member, Toastmaster Karthik, to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a prodigy. All the best, Toastmaster Karthik.
Toastmaster Karthik, remnants of my roots. Remnants of my roots. Toastmaster Karthik. Over to you, Toastmaster Karthik.
Thank you, Tia Modi. You are able to hear me clearly?
Yes, yes. You are audible and visible.
Yes. Utranoi Niki, Uramai Murkakum, Petriyar Peni Kodal. This Tirukural means that elders, that is mentors, will help us in solving our current problems as well as prevent the problems from occurring again. We must take effort to nurture our relationship with those wise mentors. This Tirukural highlights the importance of having mentors in our life. Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. We all have many important people in our life who played a tremendous role in our life. They would have guided us, mentored, and advised us on various situations of our life. We stand here because of their wise inputs. Now, I'm going to narrate the impact of people who strengthened my roots through their wise wisdom. Let me begin from my childhood. During my 8th standard, my uncle, Mr. Vasudevan, he presented me a book on Mr. Akio Morita. He is a founder of Sony Corporation. This book kickstarted my habit of reading. Through reading, I got introduced to many eminent personalities who have excelled in their respective field. Now, reading has become an integral part of my life and a guiding force. It all started with that single book gift given by my uncle, Mr. Vasudevan. In my professional life, I'm fortunate to have worked with colleagues who have always encouraged me to excel in my life, in my professional life. I can remember one incident. Once, I had an argument with my manager wherein I had written a detailed email on the steps taken in that work with a slightly harsher tone. So due to the harsh tone in the email, I got into a very high conflict with my manager. Immediately, my colleague, Mr. Bharat, got involved in the conflict and helped me to resolve the issue with less impact on me. He then mentored me on the importance of writing an email with the proper tone and language. This is one of the many incidents where my colleagues have played an important role in my professional life. Now those colleagues have become a lifelong friends for me, wherein I refer to them whenever I have issues in my professional as well as personal life. In fact, I got introduced to Toastmasters due to the insistence of one of my colleagues. In my personal life, I have close friends from my college as well as school days. During the year 2015, I had hit a low point. I had hit a low point in my life. That is, I planned to do higher studies, but that plan failed miserably, and I had to search and find a job again. It is due to the encouragement and motivation of my close friends, I got another job and helped me to move on from that failure. In my Toastmasters journey, I've been a Toastmasters from the year 2017. My mentors were Toastmaster Venkatesh, Toastmaster Sheshadri, and currently my mentor is Toastmaster Arun. The feedbacks of my mentors helped me to refine my writing skills, preparation strategies of my speeches, and helped me to refine my public speaking skills. I'm also thankful to all my speech evaluators who gave encouraging and constructive feedback to all my speeches. My association with Toastmasters also helped me to grow my leadership skills. I have held the positions of club secretary, vice president membership, and vice president education throughout my journey in Madras Toastmasters. I was able to perform well in all these roles due to the guidance of Toastmaster, due to the guidance of past president Toastmaster Arun, Toastmaster Anup, and Toastmaster Jay. It is due to their guidance I was able to excel in these roles, and I also got inspired by their appetite for excellence and also by their proactiveness. I also got the privilege of organizing 450th milestone meeting of Madras Toastmaster Club under Toastmaster Arun and 475th milestone meeting under Toastmaster Anup. I learned the skills of planning, organizing, and executing a effective and efficient special event under their guidance. I also got lifelong friends in Toastmasters such as Toastmaster Jay, Toastmaster Madhupriya, and Toastmaster Soumya through Toastmasters. Whenever I have trouble in my personal as well as professional life, I turn to these Toastmasters for their inputs. When I reminisce my roots, I strongly feel that the depth and the strength of my roots are due to the wise inputs from my mentors. It is my mentors who have shown the way whenever I face trouble in my life. I urge all Toastmasters to identify your mentors. After identifying, engage, collaborate, and discuss with them to discover your true potential. I have identified my mentors. What about you, Toastmaster? Tia Modi, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. Wow, what a appreciation for your boss. You are practicing that respect to your seniors. Wow, that is gratitude to your seniors, right? Whenever we have that habit of having that gratitude, the real healing happens as per the study. On the contrary, if I have the habit of jealous, right, something angry, frustration, stress, depression, all this in my mind, in the precious mind, it causes various psychosomatic illness and causes inflammation. Right? Let us have the practice of having the habit of gratitude. Where the real healing starts. Even the research have been showing that even the patient who have carcinoma, cancer, if you practice gratitude, the healing happens. There will be reduction from the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy. Fantabulous. Yeah, let me move on. See, we have learned about that 66 days rule. That is about the short-term goal. For a long-term goal, let me discuss. For the long-term goal, see, the outliers, the book was written by one of the renowned psychiatrists. It's a Malcolm Gladwell. In his book, he has mentioned that if you practice anything for 10,000 hours, right, you became an expert in the chosen field. Right? For example, if you take that Tendulkar, right, he has practiced the cricket for 10,000 hours. That's why he became the expert in the field of cricket. A.R. Rahman or Ilayaraja sir, who has practiced the music for the 10,000 hours with more passion, dedication, and determination. That's why they became an expert in the chosen field. If you want to be an IAS officer or anything else, practice for 10,000 hours with more passion, determination. That message goes to your subconscious mind. That became the part of your personality. That became instinctual. So from these positive notes, let me move on to the second session. The second session is our leadership session, the educational session by our president, Toastmaster Kavita ma'am. Let me introduce her. She is working as a defense manager in a software company. In Toastmasters, she was in Toastmasters since she has been in the Toastmaster since 2015. Served as a surgeon at arms, treasurer, secretary, VPM, VPE, and currently serving as a president in MTC. Her hobbies are blogging, video making, and gardening. So today in the educational session, we are going to discuss about the leadership excellence session, Delegate, Empower. Delegate, Empower, Toastmaster Kavita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Anand, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Timer, please give me a minute to share the screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Talking about the educational session in general in Toastmasters, we have predefined topics suggested by the Toastmasters International. And those topics are Leadership Excellence Series, Club Growth Series. We have a list of these. So the chosen topic here is Leadership Excellence Series. And under that, the topic chosen is Delegate to Empower. So let's have this session more interactive so that it's not a one-man show or one-woman show or just a one-way path. Let's have it more interactive. So I would request all of you to turn on your cameras if possible. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, what are your thoughts about delegating? So can I have a few answers? What do you think is delegation when it comes to leadership?
Delegation means you are giving the responsibility to your subordinate to empower. You are nurturing his talent.
Exactly. To put it perfectly, he said it in the right way. Let's see what Toastmasters International says is delegation. Okay. So they say the process of transferring the responsibility, not the task. So it is always mistaken that delegation is giving your task to somebody, making them do something, and then taking the credit. So that is not delegation. That is totally unethical, and that is against integrity. So this is something that we always face in our day-to-day professional life, sometimes in personal life as well. So that is credit stealing, right? So that is not delegation. Delegation is giving a particular responsibility to an individual and then empowering them to accomplish a specific goal. So we are not giving a task, but we are giving a responsibility to perform a task. So it makes a big difference there. In this session, we will be discussing 3 aspects of delegation. One is barriers to delegate. Why, when delegation has a lot of benefits, why we do not delegate? There are a few psychoanalysis topics here, very interesting topics indeed. And then how to overcome them with 5 steps to start delegating. And then we'll talk about the benefits. So these are the 3 things we are going to see in this session. Why do we not delegate? Lack of confidence. Can we have answers? What do they mean by lack of confidence here with respect to delegation?
Lack of confidence in the ability of the team member to meet the need, meet the project requirement. Exactly,
Toastmaster Priya. Yes. So sometimes we feel that we are very good at doing something and we don't tend to delegate it to somebody. We think that we are very good at it. What if they don't do it well? We don't have confidence in the person who's going to take it up. So it is not true, to be very honest. So most of the time, if you see, when you delegate your task, people do it much better than you. That is what I have seen. For example, my 4-year-old daughter, when I ask her to put the bedspread on the bed, she does it much better than me. That perfection she shows and the small folds she tend to make them perfect. So even I don't do it that way. So you might think, what does a 4-year-old have to do here? But you have to have the confidence in the person you delegate the task with. So you don't have confidence. So that is a barrier. Control. So here they mean, what do they mean by control? So they want the control. You might always see this in your professional life. People tend to have the control. To have the control with them, they don't give their task to anybody. They always have. If you give it to somebody, the control goes to them. That is again not true. You can still have the control in a good sense. But people always have this mind block that when you give it to somebody, you don't know what is happening there. They will not tell you what is happening there, and you don't have the control of that task. Selfishness. What do they mean by selfishness here? Any answers?
Because the person who is delegated, he might do better than the other person.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons. Yes, and they also tend to have this insecurity that the credit might go to that person, right? If you do it all by yourself and you achieve something, all the credit comes to you. But when you delegate it, you are sharing your credit to somebody else as well, right? So that is the selfishness. When you grow as a leader, it is not only your individual performance. As an individual contributor, you can perform well and you can get all the credit. But as a leader, when you grow up the ladder, it is always a teamwork. Your team has to do well so that you grow up the ladder, you create new leaders. So selfishness should not play a role here. So it is, let the credit go to everybody. Should be your, when you grow up as a leader, so that should be your thought process. Insecurity. So what if somebody does better than you and you lose your job? So if you are capable enough, why should you feel insecure? So that is one of the barrier. Increase your capability so that you don't feel insecure. Reluctance. Sometimes you always feel reluctant to give credit to others, to give responsibilities to others. So these are the barriers that will not allow you to delegate your work. How to start? Okay, these are the barriers. Now we know what are the barriers. So we should always know our weakness to become strong. These are the barriers. Anybody will go through these. So how to start delegating them? 5 steps to start delegating. Prioritize. First, they say if you have 10 tasks in your hand, you can actually prioritize them and see which are the tasks you really want to do. First 3 priorities if you really want to do. The remaining task, if you want to delegate, you come up with the tasks you want to delegate. Prioritize your work and find out the tasks you want to delegate, the responsibilities you want to give to the your delegates. Now, the second step is match the needs to availability and ability. You have a list of tasks, you have a list of people and their abilities. So map them properly so that you get a good outcome. What are the things you need to have in mind? Knowledge. So the person should be skillful to do the job and the person should be motivated and able. What do they mean by this? The person should be knowledgeable is very straightforward. He should be skillful, he or she should be skillful and knowledgeable to do this. But this knowledge and skill is overrated actually in the industry, because generally if you are motivated, if you are willing to contribute, then you automatically learn the skill. So the second, being motivated is very, very important than the knowledge itself. A person can be trained to become skillful, but a person cannot be motivated if the person doesn't feel the necessity to do this job. For example, we have quite a lot of XCOM roles, right? So each of the role demands a lot of hard work. So the person may be skilled, the person should be skilled, at the same time willing to contribute for the role. So the same holds good for professional as well. So the person should be skillful in that job, to do that job, and should be aligned with the goals of the leader, so that he's able to he's able to see what the leader is trying to do, and he's accepting what the leader has to do, and then does his job. So if he doesn't approve of what the leader does, then he will not be willing to contribute, and we don't achieve the goal. So by able, what do they mean here? You have the skill, you are willing to contribute, but still there is a factor that is that might not allow the person to do the job. What is it? Any answers? It is the bandwidth. Suppose the person is working on too many things. You have 10 things you want to delegate. The person is working on 20 things. How will the person have bandwidth to accommodate? Even if the person is willing to do, he has the skills, he may not be able to do because of bandwidth issues. So you should also think about that when you delegate. The next step is assign responsibility. Straight away, you have analyzed all the things. Now you have to give the responsibility. What are the things you have to do when you give the responsibility to a person? Describe the task and expectation. So you don't have to tell them how to do it. So everyone has their own style of doing things. So you don't have to feed them, spoon feed them. You can say, these are the set of tasks I want to give you, and these are the expectations. You can do it any way you want. This is empowering them. So generally, my manager, when we go with problems to my manager, he generally says, come up with solutions. Don't bring problems to me. That means he's empowering us. He's allowing us to take decisions and come up with solutions. If it is applicable, he will approve. So this is the way you get empowered. So there will be different kinds of solutions for a particular problem. So each person will come up with different solutions. So there you're bringing in variety. Instead of taking the problem to a person and one variety of solution will be given by one person, when it is delegated, you bring in a lot of innovation there. So first, task and expectation, you're setting that to the individual. And then training needs. So what are the type of trainings required? Maybe you can train them, or you can suggest somebody, you can ask somebody else to train them, and you can also identify resources, like you can present a video, or you can show a few documentation to acquire the skills. Empower or grant authority. This is what I was talking about. So you give the authority to them, you give the responsibility, the empowerment to them. You're not giving a task, you're giving a responsibility. You're empowering them to come up with solutions. So there you have a lot of benefits when you do that. And then establish accountability. So it should not be like, you gave me the task, but he is only responsible for the task. I'm just helping him. It should not be that way. The person should be accountable. Only then he'll take the end-to-end responsibility of the task, isn't it? So these are the few things that you can, when you start delegating, these are the 5 steps you can follow. Identifying and executing. Benefits. What are the benefits of delegation? Okay, having spoken a lot about delegation, can few of you brainstorm on what do you think, how delegation helps? What are the benefits of delegation? Any answers?
Yeah, when a person gives you a responsibility, or for example, when you take up some kind of role, just in case we do in Toastmasters, we ensure that we do it with a lot of self-confidence, and we also get the help of other members as well. For example, if someone doesn't know how to perform that role properly, we may ask some advice or suggestions to improve themselves when they perform that same role next time. So that's how delegation also works.
Exactly. Very true. That is one of the benefits. You also get a good rapport with people when you do delegate your tasks. That is a very important point. Anything else from anybody?
Delegation
Benefit?
improves quality of the work. So when it is delegated, also the quality of the work may get improved. At the same time, the workload can be reduced. So other person also get trained, especially in Toastmasters. So we need to pass on the knowledge.
That is very true. The quality increases. That is something that I have experienced in my professional life. So once it is given to somebody, when you're doing 10 things at the same time, you always feel the pressure, and you may be a big multitasker, but that doesn't matter. When you do 10 things together, definitely there is a good chance that you are going to compromise on the quality. So the quality aspect is a very, very important point that Muthu pointed out. And also, he spoke about the effectiveness and the innovations that people will bring about when you give your knowledge to others and ask them to do. You increase the quality, you bring in innovation to the already existing tasks. So each of us have our own different way of doing things, right? So it's not like they are better, but they are doing it in a different way. They are doing it in a more innovative way, and that is good. If it is, if you're able to achieve your goal with that, then it is a win-win for both of you. So you should look at it that way. So let's discuss. Any more answers?
Yeah.
Yes, I had quality work that has already been discussed, because in my experience right now, so I'm having, for example, Dinesh is one of the subcommittee members. So I always feel that his work is more, qualitative. So if I had done, maybe not that much, but then he does it better than me. So the focus is more on the quality of the work than who does it. And the second thing is, I feel the teamwork or group work has also been enhanced. So we learn to work with the team. So that is my.
That is very true, Soumya. Yes, you tend to have a good rapport with them, and you need a lot of confidence to say that they do better than me, right? So I really admire that in you. So that is a very interesting fact. Each of us have our own way of doing it, right? So yes, that is very true. Any more answers?
It helps in skill building of your team member, because you are also focusing and helping them learn how to do a particular task. So it helps in skill building. Second thing, it also helps in projecting your team member well. So it helps getting recognition for the person because they've demonstrated and taken up leadership in accomplishing a task. And the third thing is that what happens is that the person who is doing it, you learn to identify which of your team member is more reliable, and so you can identify the good performers from the others by looking at the quality of initiative that they're taking.
Yeah, very good points, ma'am. All the 3 points were very, very important. And I really liked the second point about the recognition. So we humans tend, how much ever you are paid, how much ever promotions you get, whatever you do, at the end, the appreciation that comes from somebody matters more than anything else. leaders at any level, you see, even at a very high level of leadership, they are always happy with appreciations. So people, when they get appreciated, they really feel happy, they get involved more. So let's see what are the benefits Toastmasters International Organization says about delegation. More involved and empowered. We have covered almost all the points that they are talking about. So let's see what exactly they say. A more involved and empowered workforce. So the more they are involved, the less the probability of them to go out. You have a lesser chance of attrition when you involve them in more tasks. Not only does your burden reduce, but also the quality increases and they are involved and empowered, so they don't leave. They are happy. Increased productivity. This is what Muthu was talking about. Quality and productivity increases. When the productivity increases, the cost reduces. And different people bring in a lot of innovation. Instead of one person doing everything with one perspective, you bring in a lot of innovation when you delegate. And the team members get committed and your attrition level decreases. So why do we tend to have so many subcommittee members in XCOM? You not only increase their skill level, you involve them in leadership, you make them do things and they learn a lot of things, and they also get involved and they are committed to something. When you're committed to something, you don't leave. That is the essence of life, right? You get committed, you don't leave. But you are just contributing somewhere, then there is a good chance that you leave. So these are the benefits of delegation. Having spoken a lot about delegation, I think we all should delegate our work when it comes to professional as well as personal life, because delegation plays a vital role and it increases the quality. It has lots of benefits and it will also reduce your burden to a great extent. So recently my manager left my organization, and the last day when I spoke to him, this is the one piece of advice he gave me: to delegate. If you delegate, you will see the difference in the team, and you will also see that your work gets reduced and the quality increases. So it's a win-win for all of us. So this is what I have, and I would like to conclude with a very powerful quote by an army officer of the United States, General George Smith Patton Jr. Never tell people how to do things. So when you delegate, you should be very careful. It is not about credit stealing. It is not about giving your work to somebody, but it is about empowering somebody, giving the responsibility to somebody and making them the next leader. So that is something you have to have in your mind when you do it. You cannot go and tell them how to do it. You just tell them what to do and what are the expectations you have. And then you tell them what to do and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. So that is something I have seen in my professional as well as my personal life. I gave examples. I'm sure all of us will have examples, and let's delegate our work, both professional and personal work, so that all of us are happy and all of us are productive and cost effective. Over to you, TM Modi.
Wow, Toastmaster Kavita, what an enthralling session. Fantastic. So what I admired about this session is that the way you facilitated the session, you have thrown the question to the audience and you gather the answer. Again, you give it to the audience. Such a facilitation. I need to inculcate such a facilitation skills from you. You are very proactive. Fantastic. I think you have done a lot of homework on this topic. Right. So let us moving further. I request the timer to please tell me the prepared speech, overall the approved prepared speeches. Please, could you please update who are selected?
Yes. Both of them are qualified.
Okay.
Within the time limit, they finish their speech. No one has exceeded the limit. That's all, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, timer, for your prompt response. I request SAA team to launch the poll.
The pool has been launched.
Poll has launched. I request members and the guest, please cast your vote for the prepared speech.
So we can take a break now, sir.
Yeah. So, Toastmaster President Kavita, shall we take 5 minutes break? I think you are mute. You are not audible.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can go for 5 minutes break, sir.
Yes. Toastmaster Muttu, kindly have a check over the time. We will give break for 5 minutes. Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Now I request the Toastmasters and guests to be back on meeting to continue the further session. And Toastmaster Anand, you can take control.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muthu. Let us start the session. Okay. So we are completely discussing about the habit. Let me discuss about what is a keystone habit. A keystone habit. These are the habit that produces some of the ripple effect that is called as keystone habit. Right? Suppose I have one potential positive habit that will trigger various positive habits. For example, see, in this new year, I have taken a resolution of doing the exercise, going to ground, right, regularly. So I started doing exercise regularly. Because of this good habit, I've inculcated various good habits. I've started taking the balanced diet. I have completely cut down my carbs, taking sufficient amount of protein and good fats and proper leafy vegetables. And also my sleep awake pattern, my circadian rhythm has changed. Earlier, I go to bed around 12 o'clock. Now, sharply by 9:30 to 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed because morning I need to wake up by 5 o'clock. So this is right. These are all the various, because of one habit, various sub-habit has been formed. This is the keystone habit. Okay. Even by joining in this Toastmastering, I have got a lot of keystone habits. Right? I joined Toastmasters to improve my communication skill. What is a keystone habit? I have inculcated. The confidence level has increased. Second thing is that the proactiveness has increased. Last time, if you see that last Toastmasters Club meeting, I have severe network challenge. Right? I am completely disconnected. I can't perform. Now I am using the two devices. That proactiveness has increased. So the leadership qualities has increased. See, I'm not a narcissistic. Whatever I am manifesting in the workplace, just I'm putting my thoughts to you. Okay, that is the keystone habit. Let us form one potential habit that has got various ripple effect. Okay, let me move on to the third session. That is the impromptu session. Okay, table topic session. That is the core essence of the Toastmasters meeting. For doing this Toastmasters table topic meeting, we have Toastmaster Vandana with us. She is a first year BBA student at MOP Vaishnava College, and she is a national rhythmic gymnastics. Okay, so over to you, Toastmaster Vandana. You can take over the podium.
Am I audible? And is my screen clear?
Yes, you are audible. You are visible. You can take over. All the best.
Yeah. Happy morning to fellow Toastmasters and our guests gathered today. So what is habits? Habits is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. So the moment I received the name of the word of the day and the theme of the day, the only thing that came up to my mind was a book which my father loves, and that is 7 Habits by Stephen Covey. I cannot tell the number of times my father has gifted a book to somebody. I am very sure that if I have ever collected the number of books I had, I would have had a library by now. He's always gifted this to someone, and this is always, he considers this a life-changing book for him. He's always pushed us to learning this. And the first topic immediately, the first habit of the book, which Stephen Covey talks about, is being proactive. So, being proactive is about taking responsibility of your own life. Being proactive is about taking responsibility for your own life, a proactive person does not blame circumstances. They know they can choose their own behavior. They won't be reactive, rather they'll be proactive about themselves. Reactive people, on the other hand, are often affected by their physical environment. They find external sources to blame their behavior. All these external forces act as a stimuli that we respond. Response is our greatest power. We have the freedom to choose our response. One of the most important things we choose is what we say. Our language is a good indicator on how we portray ourselves. You can either complain about the situation and worry about it and not look for solutions, or you can rather be proactive. You can find solutions. You can choose how you speak. You can choose how you respond, which will be good for you and better for others. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind means to begin each day, task, or project with a clear vision of your desired direction and destination, and then continuing by flexing your proactive muscles to make things happen. The ability to envision your mind what you cannot present with your eyes. It is based on the principle that all things are created twice. The first is the mental creation. You set a goal, you set a dream, you set a task for yourself. And the second is physical creation, is how you achieve it and how you are going to achieve it and the things you do to achieve it. If you don't make a conscious effort to visualize who you want or what you want in life, then you empower other people and circumstances to shape your life by default. The third habit is first things first. Put first things first is the exercise of independent will towards becoming principle-centered. This is something which takes great self-control and self-discipline to achieve. You are the creator. You are in charge. This habit is where habit 1 and habit 2 come along. It happens day in and day out, moment by moment. It deals with many of the questions addressed around time management. Just like we address time management in Toastmasters itself, we have to give our speeches in a particular time frame, and we're not allowed to cross it. Life management, your purpose, values, roles, and priorities. What are first things? First things are those things you find most of worth. If you put first things first, you are organizing and managing time and events according to the personal priorities established in habit 2. That is, begin with the end. We spend our time in one of 4 ways, depending on 2 factors that define an activity: urgent and important. It requires immediate attention, is urgent. The things which act on us are visually. So as you can see, there's a table in front of you, and that's how we can segregate how to know what things are urgent and not urgent, and how things are important and not important. When we categorize things like this in our life, I think it's much easier for us to smoothly take on things and tasks in our life. Habit 4, think win-win. Think win-win isn't about being nice, nor is it about a quick fix technique. It is a character-based code for human interaction and collaboration. Most of us learn to base our self-worth on comparisons and competition. We think about succeeding in terms of someone else failing. If you win, you lose. If I win, you lose. Life becomes a zero-sum game. Win-win sees life as a cooperative arena, not a competitive one. Win-win is a frame of mind and heart that consistently seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. Win-win means agreements or solutions are mutually beneficial and satisfying. We both get to eat the pie and taste pretty good. That's how the win-win mentality works.
Toastmaster Vandana,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we start calling the table topic speakers because we are running out of time?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I think we have. Is my screen here? Okay. So I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Sriram. Yes. So please pick any of the what is it called, pictures in front of you, and based on that you'll be given a topic.
Yeah, probably I would choose the serial number 9. Both the hands raised.
Okay. So your topic is your journey of breaking a habit, your breaking chain.
So the topic, able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll repeat, the topic is your journey of breaking a habit is breaking a chain, right?
It's actually a hyphen. I would like you to talk about a journey that you when you broke a habit. Breaking the chain is.
Okay. So the topic I'll just rephrase. It's about my journey of breaking a habit, right? Yeah, sure. So time starts now. Can we can. So respected Toastmasters, my dear friends, all of us are keen to develop some habit. Like everybody says, habit is something which we have to practice for a stipulated period. It could be 21 days or 66 days. Different terms coming here. But what the key part here is that how do we sustain that without breaking the chain? Many of us fall apart, including me. I can quote many instances. I started something like, like somebody said, getting up early in the morning, 6 o'clock. Right? The first 10 days is really tough. I really tried, then can't make it up. Then comes the, you overcome the resistance. Then you start practicing it, you stabilization phase, then you start inculcating it, right? So this happens after the 21 days or 66 days, whichever days people are comfortable. Now, how this can happen without breaking the chain? It happens, I would say, at 3 ways, 3 stages. First, you have to prepare your mind, then give your full heart, then finally begin to action. So all these 3 aspects should work coherently to achieve what you want, which meaning like without breaking the habit. So I always advise the Toastmasters, first give a thought, make it like we can do very well, and get that win over the mind and the heart, then start putting into action. Then your habit will become a habit, and it'll become your character as well. So from habit to character is a journey. Why don't we follow Toastmasters? What do you tell the Master?
Thank you. So thank you for that wonderful topic. So I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Karthik. The next topic.
Yes.
Toastmaster Karthik, topic number 9 has been chosen already. You can choose anything else apart.
Yeah, topic number 4.
So your topic will be motivation is what gets you started. Habits is what keeps you going.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Vandana, for giving this topic. So we all think that we should need motivation to achieve the goals, whatever we have set in our life. But it is not. Motivation is just the starting point. It is when you automate things, you will achieve the goals, whatever you have set out to. I can elaborate on this one. For example, I started a habit of going to gym in the last year around October. So first 20 days, it was very tough. So I usually feel why I have to, whenever I get up in the morning, I used to feel why should I go? I can sleep for one more hour and all those. But despite all those negative thoughts, I pushed myself to go to gym for the first 20 days. After gradually, what it has become is that immediately when my alarm goes alarm goes on, I automatically brush my teeth and put on my shoes and ready myself and go to gym. I used to never think, can I sleep or can I skip the day? So I eliminated that overthinking. I just automated. That is, when my alarm goes on, I do all the activities, all the required activities, and go on to gym. And then when I step into the gym, I realized I never look back. It is the time when I take from the moment which I get up to till I step into the gym. That is my I can say speed breaker. So I decided that I will not think too much. Whenever I get up, I will do the things required and then go on to gym, and then I just enjoy. So what it has happened is I was able to continue the gym activity till now. I've reduced my weight 5 kgs, all because of automating that one. So motivation has helped me to kickstart the habit, whereas automating the things help me to sustain the habit. Over to TT Master.
It was a wonderful speech, Toastmaster. Thank you for sharing your journey. Next, I'd like to call upon a guest, Srinivasan. Guest Srinivasan, are you there?
Yes, I'm ready to participate in it, but I'm sorry, I'm using my mobile, so there'll be a kind of volatility in my video. So that's why I prefer to just unmute myself as far as the audio is concerned and go with the audio. Will it be permitted?
I think that we permitted. You can go on.
Yeah, I can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for your acceptance. Yeah, I'm willing to participate in this.
Okay, so you can choose any of the topics except for 9 and 4.
Oh, these pictures are the topics, right?
Yes, you'll have to choose a picture, and based on the picture, you'll be given a topic.
Fine. Ninth picture is something which depicts about breaking of habits, right?
Yeah, 9th and 4th has been taken. You can just choose a picture and a topic will be given.
Yeah, oh, fine. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'll go for 5th picture.
Okay. The only remedy for habits is counter habits. Bad habits is a counter.
Yes, of course. Actually, this is quite relevant topic which has given to me, because I can share some of my experience which I encountered as far as my preparations for the competitive exam, particularly the intermediate exam, which I wrote in the recent past for my company secretary course. I'll share some of my experience from that. The preparation part of my examination. Why? Because generally when we prepare for competitive exams like Public Service Commission or Chartered Accountants Institute exam or company secretaries or whatever the competitive exams for the case may be. We have to maintain a particular routine, a particular habit, because since these hail from a professional background right from the beginning, we have to inculcate that professionalism within us. So particularly these examinations demand professionalism, which is something has to be brought up by the individual himself and which cannot be taught from outside. That is the main agenda around which these examinations are particularly conducted. So while during the preparation of my examination course, the time which was allocated to me was around 6 to 7 months, particularly for giving one module. And during the preparation, in the beginning, I had my own time management, I had my own plans, and the framing part I'm telling, not the execution. The framing part was quite peculiar and was satisfiable as far as my preparation is concerned. But at the same time, when particularly when March 2020, where the first lockdown and the first COVID effect pampered our country, and everything went online and my classes turned online, and which obviously it used to trigger the laziness aspect of every individual, because since there is no other place to go out, you have to be engaged yourself in within four walls. It created its own the laziness created its own demand of conquering an individual. So slowly I got conquered by that laziness, and for around 3 to 4 months hardly, I just attended the classes and I didn't follow. So it was a major aspect which affected me a lot. But fortunately, that attempt, my college exams got clashed with my professional exams. So, and fortunately, for God's sake, they came out with an opt-out option. So I opted out for the next attempt, and that was a huge part of my life, because so far I've never skipped an exam. Active participant in the academic background, that was the first time which this profession taught me a lot. So the immediate next attempt, I gave the attempt and I cracked the module 1, and now I'm hailing for the next level of the examination. So this is what the recent experience which I had, this happened around 5 to 6 months before in the 2021. So this was my past recent experience, which I experienced from giving these kind of competitive exams. That is what the typical definition of the term professionalism was taught to me only during the course of preparation, and that's what a major aspect of being a professional and inculcating myself and developing myself as a professional was put forth to me. It was like a hammer headed at my head. It was a huge strike. But at the same time, now looking back at those memories and those kind of incidents which happened to me, I'm quite mature of how to handle a complex situation which occurs in front of me. Obviously, those situations were created by myself, by my own mistakes. But it might sound quite pessimistic, but you have to be confident enough to approach these kind of situations in your life. Not only the examination part, but it applies to each and every streams which you discover in the later part of your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guest Srinivasan. That was a wonderful speech.
Toastmaster Vandana, we are running short of time. You can call last member.
Okay, I'd like to call upon, we have Srila, guest Srila.
Hello, I'm there.
Hi. Okay, so please choose a picture in front of you.
I have to choose a number.
Yeah, a number. You can choose it.
Yeah, I'll go with 2.
Okay. Happiness, like unhappiness, is a proactive choice.
Okay, happiness like unhappiness is a proactive choice. Okay, thank you for that wonderful topic, and I totally agree with this statement. So my dad has a transferable job. So every time when we move into the new city, I'm usually a very unhappy, I get very unhappy and I start comparing with the previous place, when we got transferred from Coimbatore to Goa. Honestly, I hated Goa. I was like, come on, here we don't even get idli sambar, and what is this place? This has nothing, only beach and seas. Then once and I used to hate water, I used to always sit on the sands and just look on. Then once my dad said, you cannot always, compare Coimbatore and Goa. They are like totally different places, and you have to learn what is there, enjoy what is available over here. And he really insisted that I should go and play in the water. I was very reluctant, but when I went and I played on those seas, it was altogether a wonderful experience. I mean, I have never experienced it. Wearing shorts and playing in the seas was a very good memory I have. And I also tried the local cuisine of Goa, which was wonderful. Like Tamil Nadu obviously has a lot of amazing dishes like Chettinadu cuisine, but Goa has amazing fish curry and seafood. So I totally believe whenever you go to a new place or any situation, you should only take the positive things, and you should, let go of the negative things. We should always see the positive side and enjoy life. So obviously happiness is our choice, I believe. Thank you, and over to the TTM.
Thank you for that, guest Srila. It was a wonderful speech. I'd like to pass it on to Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, TT Master, for conducting a wonderful TT round. See, the topics what you have chosen is completely synchronized with the word of the day and the theme of the day. I really appreciate your proactive behavior, right? Thanks. Right. Next, I request the timer. Please, could you please tell me that overall the qualified TT speakers? Could you please give me your report? Timer, are you there? Timer? Okay. So shall we move on to the, yes, okay. See, not the brief report, overall the qualified TT speakers. Just you tell me the name, that's sufficient.
Toastmaster Balachandar, can you hear us?
Toastmaster Balachandar, I think he is encountering some network challenge, I think so. Yeah. Your voice is not audible, Toastmaster Balachandar. Still your voice is not audible.
You can probably put in the chat, Toastmaster Balachandar, the list of qualified speakers for TT.
You no need to put everyone. So you tell me any disqualification means you tell me the name. That's sufficient. So we are running short of time. Okay. I think only one disqualification. I request, please, Toastmaster Muthu, please kindly note and launch the poll.
Who is the, sorry, sir? Guest Srinivasan is not qualified, right?
Yes. So could you please launch the poll? We will wait for a minute.
No problem, sir. Sorry, continue with the evaluation. Sir,
okay, sure. Okay. Thanks, Toastmaster Muthu. Yes, See, only one thing I want to share about the habit. See, I'm more strict to my habit continuously. See, to my dietary regimen, I take a lot of balanced food. Suppose sometimes I cheated, I give punishment to myself. That is penalty. That works a miracle. Suppose I take a piece of cake, right? I'm deviating from my dietary pattern. That means to my family member, I offer 500 rupees as a penalty. So this is one of the habit to eliminate the inappropriate habit or unwanted behavior. So this works wonders for me. I hope everyone can use this same to inculcate some good habit. So to moving further, right, the last session, that is an evaluation session. The feedback is the breakfast of the champion, as per the Clint Bancho quotes. Okay. So I am handing the floor to our general evaluator, Toastmaster, DTM Rouser. So I request everyone, please cast your vote for your table topics. Yeah. So over to you, sir. You can take over.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh, Toastmaster Anand. Happy afternoon, our members. I came back again for a second part of my evaluation session. So in this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite two evaluators. Those are going to give their feedback and their suggestions to the prepared speakers we have today. Two prepared speakers. One is Toastmaster Indumati, and the second prepared speaker is Toastmaster PJ Karthik. To evaluate Toastmaster Indumati's speech, Toastmaster Vivek is her evaluator, and Toastmaster, a brief introduction about the Toastmaster Vivek. Toastmaster Vivek is a Toastmaster of Madras Toastmaster Club and is contributing a lot. And I think last time he is contributed for the subcommittee of VP Education, and now he's playing various roles. So currently, he is working as a director of product at Fan Code, and his hobbies are reading books about philosophy, consumer behavior, and autobiographies. Also watching and playing football, practicing yoga. Beautiful habits. Over to Toastmaster Vivek.
Thank you, General Evaluator DTM Dr. Rouser. And good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and my fellow speaker, Toastmaster Indumati. So before getting into the evaluation, let me congratulate Toastmaster Indumati for taking her first step in her Toastmaster journey and completing successfully her icebreaker speech. Congrats. So on the evaluation bit, so this is one of the best icebreaker speeches I have heard during my stint at Toastmaster, particularly for a first-time Toastmaster. You are really cool, calm, and composed in delivering your speech. And most importantly, your speech is very well structured with very interesting visuals and clear flow. I really liked how you started your speech by talking about the family tree and how your friends, family, and teachers and yourself influenced your life in a positive way. And most importantly, the examples you gave, we are able to relate as an audience with your life. So to summarize, it's really very well structured speech, and the pace of your speech was really excellent, and the tone was consistent throughout the presentation. And most importantly, the real-time examples, we're able to relate to who Indumati as a person, right? On the only one point which I would like to add as a feedback, obviously I'm looking here because your speech was like really good throughout. So you mentioned about traveling throughout your speech from the beginning till the end, and also you kind of quoted at the end also, right, to travel more. So it could have been great. Maybe you could have quoted a few real-time examples of traveling and how it kind of shaped your life. That would have been great. Other than that, it was an excellent speech, and congrats, and looking forward to your speeches Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Gideon
Dr.
Rao,
Also,
you are on mute, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful evaluation by Toastmaster Vivek, and it has definitely, it will motivate our budding Toastmasters, Toastmaster Indumati, for her wonderful speech. Now I'm going to invite Toastmaster Priya Narayanan. She is going to evaluate our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster PJ Karthik. Toastmaster Priya Narayanan, I think in a Madras Toastmaster Club, no need of introduction. I think she's very seasoned Toastmaster and very committed leader. And whenever I think XCOM is looking for her, I think she's ready to help. Toastmaster Priya Narayanan, she's a working professional in telecom company, and her habits are reading and traveling to religious places. Beautiful habits. And over to Toastmaster Priya Narayanan.
Thank you, General Evaluator DTM Rao. And Toastmaster Karthik, it's my privilege. You have been my mentor in my Toastmasters journey. So here's my evaluation today. And I hope my evaluation helps you progress in your leadership journey. The objective for Toastmaster Karthik today was to speak about how Toastmaster envisions mentoring, and also to give snippets or some aspects of his previous experience as a protégé. I think congratulations, Toastmaster Karthik. You have met the project objective today. In terms of specific inputs on how your speech was, and you began the speech exceedingly well by quoting Tirukkural and telling what a great and pivotal role our elders play in our life and in shaping our future. I think your speech had enough and more examples of how your uncle instilled in you the habit of reading. You spoke about your friends and colleagues at work and how they helped you through tough situations and helped you grow in your leadership journey. And of course, you spoke about your Toastmaster colleagues and evaluators and how they helped shape your communication journey. So overall, you did meet the project objective. You had given a specific ask, which was to give inputs on your body language and the clarity of speech. Coming to that, I think you used your hand gestures very well. The only drawback or the thing that you could look at evaluating was there was too much of movement, body movement, which was a little distracting. So if you could kind of stay fixed and just use your hand effectively, it will definitely improve the quality of speech and help keep the audience connected. I also observed in a couple of instances, you were moving your eyes and you were kind of moving your attention away from the audience, which could be avoided. Overall, a fantastic speech, great speech. Your title, you began it well with a lot of punch, with quoting from Tirukkural. Your content had a lot of examples to guide us, and the conclusion was thought-provoking, and it asked us to immediately connect with our mentors, collaborate with them, and continue in our journey. So overall, fantastic speech. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya Narayanan. I think very pointed observations. It will be definitely help to the speaker, Toastmaster PJ Karthik. So now I'm moving to my team's updates and their observations, their feedback in a three-dimensional. One is the time, other one is our counter and grammarian. I think most of you Toastmaster may be knowing why actually these three-dimensional feedback. See, whenever you are giving a speech in a public forum, like Toastmasters Club, like MTC, this is not your time, it is all members' time. So that I think everybody has to stick to that time. That's why I think timer is very important. So they're going to observe the timing and they'll make you fail if you're not able to stick to the timings. Now I want to hear from Toastmaster Balachandran to give the detailed report on the time, how they spend each role player and speakers. Over to Balachandran. I think Balachandran, we are not able to hear you. Can you unmute yourself? I think is any technical issue you have there? Otherwise, if you have any PPT, something about the summary of timer report, just show. Then I will move to the second role player.
I think the problem is with his headphone. I think so.
So I think Bala, you can try remove your headphones and try. Can I able to hear? Or otherwise I can go through PPT. Tell me. Oh, this is actually education session. I think Kavita has taken 20 minutes. Go ahead. What about speakers?
If we can move to the next slide, because
you please move to next slide. You're not able to move. Okay.
Still
Yeah, I think maybe you can submit your report offline to the members. Maybe I think minutes of meeting, Muthu can able to circulate. Because of paucity of time, I want to move to the next team player, accounter. So I'm going to move to the accounter report. Toastmaster Dinesh is playing the leadership role of accounter. So what is the purpose of accounter? See, whenever you are giving a speech in front of the audience, and when you are coming to the stage, like a heart attack, we will get a thought attack. Even though if you prepare, you won't get the ideas, you won't get the words to speak. That time, I think some filler words will come. So if you can able to measure that filler words, you can minimize the filler words, your speech will be effective. So that is the purpose of our accounter. And Toastmaster Dinesh is going to deliver his report based on his observations with respect to various speakers, those are taken part today's meeting. Over to Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, DTM Rao. Respected Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Starting off with the prepared speech session, Toastmaster Indumati didn't notice anything. And the second speaker, Toastmaster Karthik, didn't notice anything. During the educational session, Toastmaster Kavita used 2 hours. In the table topic session, the first speaker, Toastmaster Sriram, used 2 hours. Second speaker, Toastmaster Karthik, used 2 so. The third speaker, guest Srinivasan, used 16 hours, 3 ums, 2 but, and 3 you know. Fourth speaker, guest Srila, used 3 hours and 2 you knows. In the evaluation session, Toastmaster Vivek didn't notice anything. And the second speaker, Toastmaster Priya Narayanan, used 3 hours and 2 ums. And in the big 3 roles, Toastmaster Anand used 12 hours, 1 hour, 4 so's. And DTM Rao used, DTM Rao didn't notice anything. And Toastmaster Vandana, TT Master didn't notice anything. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. I think it's a very nice way of presentation and with a crisp and distinct giving the message to the audience. I think if you see Toastmaster Srinivasan, who is the guest today, you can observe your account compared to who are seasoned Toastmasters. So once you become a Toastmaster and you are coming to regular meetings, you can able to minimize the accounter. And I appreciate both of the speakers today. They didn't do any hours. So now I'm moving to the next leadership role in my team, Toastmaster Soumya, and she is going to deliver her report with respect to grammar observations, how actually all role players are played today in the meeting. Over to Toastmaster Soumya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I'm going to be giving you a report on who are the people who used the word of the day or the theme of the day first. TMOD Anand used the word of the day more than 10 times and theme of the day more than 10 times. And Toastmaster Sriram used theme of the day 5 times.
Table topic master TM Vandana used word of the day 6 times and theme of the day 5 times. Toastmaster Karthik PJ used word of the day 1 time and theme of the day 1 time. Let me quickly move on to the next segment of grammarian report, which is the improper use and the right way of using it, or my suggestions. So the improper use observed was an habit, which is a habit. The article used should be a, not an. I am succeeded, I succeeded. One of the good practice suggestion for a better usage is one of the good practices. Always one of the is followed by the plural form of the word. Similarly, one of the barrier can be used as one of the barriers. And feedbacks is an improper use. The plural form of feedback is feedback only. There is no yes. And moving on to the good usage of words, thoughts, or quotes, we have a good collection of words today and quotes. So TMOD Anand used words like Homo sapiens, personality traits, driving force of our life, crystallize, unconscious memory, substantially, calm and composed, enthralling, inculcate, circadian rhythm. And General Evaluator DTM Rao used words like appraisal, feedback, observations. Toastmaster Indumati used words like adaptability, shook my thoughts, hit me deeply, major turning point, quotes like believe in yourself, take care of yourself and it will take care of you. Toastmaster PJ Karthik beautifully used the Thirukural, Utranoi Niki Uramai Murkakum Petriyar Peni Kolal. And he used words like resolve my conflicts, hit a low point, appetite for excellence, automate, elaborate. Toastmaster Kavita used psychoanalysis, perfection, grow up the ladder, overrated. And quotes like come up with solutions and not problems. Words like empower, innovation. Table topic master Vandana used words like portray yourselves, flexing proactive muscles, ability to envision, visualize, independent will. Toastmaster Sriram used words like stabilization phase, coherently, and he ended his speech with beautiful quote like habit to character is a journey. Guest Srinivasan used words like professionalism, agenda, peculiar, tampered, hailing. Guest Shrilla used words like reluctant, local cuisine. Evaluator Toastmaster Vivek used words like stint, pace, consistent. Evaluator Toastmaster Priya Narayan used words like snippets, exceedingly well, pivotal role, thought-provoking, and an appreciation for her pronunciation and enunciation skills. With this, my report is getting over and I'm going to give the podium back to the General Evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toshma Soumya. I think you gave a wonderful report. And I'm very happy whatever I think my tag report has observed for the improvement of the club. Now coming to my report as observations. So any leadership role, if you are playing that to club trio, either TMOD or GA table topics, so you need to observe the meeting performance, not only during the meeting, but pre-meeting and also post-meeting. So I have a pre-meeting observations and also I have post-meeting observations and during meeting observation, but due to paucity of time, I will give all recommendations to the ExCom, especially for VP Education President offline. But I would like to highlight some of the points, what is the key observations here. First and foremost, any meeting, we need to stick to the timing. So start at the right time and end at the right time. So now what are my observations in this flow of for today's meeting? I think that we are lacking of around 10 to 15 minutes. So because of some of the issues in the flow happen. So I think those things we need to minimize. So that details I'll give to the ExCom offline. And second thing is attendance. See, Madras Toastmaster Club is one of the best club in District 120. And it is one of the senior most people are available in this club. And I'm very unhappy seeing the attendance today. Is only 20 members. Out of 20 members, I'm seeing only past presidents, only 1 or 2. So we have around 12 past presidents and senior Toastmasters. So our objective now, we have to bring them also on the board so that I think who are the new Toastmasters, they'll get benefited based on their evaluations and all. So I'm suggesting to the current ExCom, especially President Kavita, to make sure we have to get the large number for the meeting, because you conducted the Moments of Truth last week itself. And this week I expected some good turnaround. So I think maybe somehow we have to see how we have to improve the attendance. And third thing is, I can say, is a flow of the meeting. And I think I understand in a online meeting, there are technical glitches and there are some of the backups are required. I think these things we have to well in advance, we have to plan. And one observation, key observation I can see in table topics, because basically table topics we gave only 4 people today. So you would have improved that number of table topics. Because of paucity of time, I understand President and Toastmaster of the day, they're trying to cut short some of the sessions. But I think we need to plan advance. I think we have to throw those table topics more to the members as well as the guests. So these are the 3 key observations. And what are the best thing I can see this? One of the best thing I can say is the process orientation of our club. And when we started the meeting before 15 minutes, excellent role checking and screen presence, audio checking, excellent way they did. Sergeant Arms, Toastmaster Muthu has given detailed guidelines, very well done opening the meeting. And Toastmaster of the day, Anand, has explained word of the day and theme of the day, and also format of the meeting. And the combination of these speeches, 2 speeches, one is a icebreaker, one is a seasoned speaker, and also education session, very good, very excellent mix of format today. So overall, I'm happy because I may be given some more observations because of love to the MTC, and I'm the charter member and the past presidents. That's what I think I may be giving some observations. I'm sure that ExCom will act on those things, and our club will improve further. Over to the Toastmaster day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for your constructive feedback. So it was an elaborate report from the timer, accounter, as well as the grammarian. Fabulous thing. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank to my heartfelt thanks to my VP Education, Toastmaster Suhasini, who has given an opportunity as a Toastmaster of the day. Not only she has given the opportunity, the way she followed in daily basis. Daily I will get the message. Is it the team of the day or word of the day? Everything is ready. That was a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing, right? And second thing is, there is a one saying that you are the total output of 8 personalities whom you often encounter. So really, I incorporate his proactive behavior in my personality, right? So I'm in a right place at right time to improve my inculcate right habits. That was a great thing. So before moving on, I request members and guests, please cast your vote for the best evaluators. It is a displayed. Okay. From here, I'm handing my floor to the presiding officer. Over to you, Toastmaster Kavita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand. It was a great session today. I really enjoyed, and there were many new role players this week. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Suhasini, for bringing in new people for new roles. Okay. So by the time we have the results, let's have the guest feedback. Let me spotlight myself. Okay. So we have guest Srinivasan. We had your introduction in the beginning. So we have him now. Guest Srinivasan. Can you please unmute yourself and give your feedback on the session today?
Yes, of course, I'm willing to. It was quite a good session we had, inspiring session, particularly the participation of the guests as far as the table topic sessions are concerned, because you are encouraging even the guests to participate in the session, because generally I viewed have attended a lot of competitions as well as other clubs like the Rotary Club of Madras and so on, and typically in those kind of clubs they won't encourage the guests to participate at the beginning. Only the members, the club members used to participate. Of course, there are, those clubs are also international front, so they won't encourage guests to participate. But as far as this club is concerned, it is also encouraging the guests to participate and share their views and thoughts, and also correcting their mistakes. It is very inspirational because I'm highly satisfied, particularly the R counter which I received from the observer. I think I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. But the evaluation part is particularly, it's quite inspiring and motivating me to participate more in the session. So my overall participation, my view as a participant in this session is much satisfiable when compared to the previous session. The progress is very much prospective and inspiring, and I would like to participate in my next session as a member rather than being a guest. I'm looking forward to take on the membership of this club and to improve my own skill set and community friendly participation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Srinivasan, for that insightful feedback, and also very glad that you have decided to become a member, and I really enjoyed your table topic session. Thank you so much. Then we do have two more guests, guest Srila and guest Sudha. So I think we didn't have their introduction in the beginning. They joined late, I guess. So guest Srila, can you please unmute and give a brief introduction and your feedback, please?
Hi, everyone. I'm a final year MBBS student at Manipal University, and I'm also part of Mahe Toastmasters. So I got this link through a friend. And today it was an amazing session. I believe everyone did a wonderful job, be it the TMOD or the speakers or evaluators. Everybody were amazing. And I really enjoyed the meeting. The only suggestion that I have is, I believe the table topic session, she combined the book review and the TTM topics. So it would be wonderful if you could separate the sessions, have a one special session where you could include a book review or some game or some fun session, so that members would feel more that enjoyment feel would come in the Toastmasters. But otherwise your meeting was very professional and I really loved it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Srila. That was a very insightful feedback. Thank you for the observation. And then we have guest Sudha. Guest Sudha, can you please introduce yourself and can we have your quick feedback?
Yeah, hi, this is Sudha Raju. I'm from CTC Club, Coimbatore Toastmasters Club. Today I visited your club because this is a very senior most club which has its 607th meeting or something of that sort. So I wanted to gain more knowledge and get some stuff from here. And it was, of course, a wonderful meeting with a lot of keynote speaking, and I learned a lot from all of y'all. It was an excellent meeting. Only thing, like in the before the session, it was going in a very relaxed manner, and at the end of the meeting, everybody were rushing up, and so it creates a tension in with all the members, like we are all put on a stress or something like that. So that can be avoided. And so maybe some role takers are quite new or something of that sort, or maybe the last minute substitute or something. In that case, you can tell the role takers exactly what to do, because table topic session, she was giving a book review that was totally not related, and so many people have lost their chance when I wanted to give some table topic because of this international season. Everybody wants to take some opportunity. So otherwise, your session was really good. Your club is the very oldest club. It is not a new club. So it is my humble request, you can maintain that higher flow and that advanced level, so that you can create more and more good expression on your club. Otherwise, it was a fantastic meeting. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, guest Sudha. Thank you for the feedback. Yes. And yes, with that, we come to the conclusion of the guest feedback. Toastmaster Muthu, do we have the results?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
certificates will be shared offline. I'm announcing the result.
Sure.
The best speaker is Toastmaster Indumati.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Indumati, Icebreaker.
Best TT speaker, Toastmaster PJ Karthik.
Congratulations, Karthik.
Best TT speaker for guest Srila.
Congratulations, guest Srila.
Best evaluator, Toastmaster Priya Narayanan.
Congratulations, Priya.
Best role player, Toastmaster Anand.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Anand.
And best supporting role player, Toastmaster Soumya for the grammarian role.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Soumya.
And we have the icebreakers by Toastmaster Indumati. And
congratulations.
And we got two first-time role players, Toastmaster Balachandar as timer, and Toastmaster Vandana as TT master.
Congratulations, good job as a first timer.
And the meeting rating is 4.8.
4.8 is a very good rating. Thank you so much to everyone. Okay, can we have a group picture taken, Zoom Master? Could you please switch on your cameras and have your smiling faces there? Toastmaster Suhasini is taking the picture, or Toastmaster Muthu who is taking it?
I am taking it.
Okay, Suhasini.
1 minute. Thank you. I'm done with it.
Thank you so much. With that, I would like to declare our 605th meeting close. Thank you so much, all the guest speakers and role players.